Hey gang, it's the Fantasy Sports Boss. It is Waiver Wire Tuesday. I'm posting a video, not doing a live stream tonight because anybody that saw the video that I posted earlier today, the drive time video, it is Thanksgiving week. I have family in town, so obviously family first, but there will be a live stream tomorrow to discuss all the upcoming games on Thanksgiving and whatnot. But I want to put out a video to discuss the prime guys that we should be targeting in waiver wires tonight, going into tomorrow. The number one guy by a mile is Zach Charbonnet, running back for Seattle, who's going to take over against the 49ers this Thanksgiving because Kenneth Walker, the short week, especially with his oblique injury, is not going to play. And the most optimistic coach in football, who is Pete Carroll, the fact that he said, not that he didn't even commit to him, because usually any injury, we think he'll be ready to go. Did not say this about Kenneth Walker. And I think it's going to be at least 2 games. An oblique injury. Anybody that plays fantasy baseball knows that this is a serious injury for ball players, football players even, certainly as well. Very painful injury, one that lingers as well. So, and again, Kenneth Walker is no stranger to injury. You all know this. But Zach Charbonnet, this is why you held him the entire season. He is a true 3-down back, averaging over 5 yards per carry. In UCLA, he was a fantasy football dream. Like if they had fantasy football players from college, Zach Charbonnet would be a tremendous get because not only did he run the ball well, but he was an excellent receiver out of the backfield. He's already pushing 50-plus snap share over Kenneth Walker. And now he's going to have an opportunity to really take the reins here. Now, Seattle has the 49ers 2 of the next 3 weeks. It's a very rough schedule, basically throughout the end of this month into December. But in a PPR league, Charbonnet should have 5 catches at least in these games, and that's going to really buffer up his bottom line. So he is number 1 on the waiver wire this week. Now, as far as some quarterbacks this week, I think Baker Mayfield would be the top get. He's only 47% owned. Right now he's I believe over the last month he's like QB 12 or QB 11. So Mayfield's actually playing fairly well. And, he's got a decent matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. So I think Mayfield, he's been somewhat trustworthy this season, which is not something you could say about him. Another guy is Jordan Love. Jordan Love is having his best stretch of football right now. They're throwing it a lot. He's got a thing going with Jaden Reed, and he's only 46% owned. So I think Jordan Love, Detroit defense is pretty solid, but they're better stopping the run than the pass. There's some revenge on the mind of the Packers as well. They were embarrassed last time they played Detroit earlier this season. So I think Jordan Love is in a good spot here. So those are the quarterbacks. Now, Tai Chandler, going to the running backs. Tai Chandler, 44% owned. He already outplayed Alexander Madison last week. Madison averaging under 5 per carry. Listen, Chandler, only a 30% snap share, but he made the most of it. Like, he was the more explosive back. He caught, I believe, 4 passes out of the backfield. Like, he was good. And he's pushing for more and more work as the season goes on. So I think, given how mediocre Alexander Madison has been, and that Tai Chandler could be the future, I think they're going to give him more of a look. He's the guy I would pick up there. Looking at the wide receivers, Josh Downs, if he's available, you should pick him up. I know he's been banged up the last couple of weeks. He gets Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gives up a lot of yardage through the air. This is a good matchup for Josh Dobbs, who was very productive until he got banged up a couple of weeks ago. Khalil Shakir, 11% owned. He's a little boomer bust, but, again, the offense looks different now under Joe Brady. Shakir, really impressive touchdown grab against Sauce Gardner last week. I think he's worth picking up. Jameson Williams, 20% owned. I think the lines are going to incorporate him more and more as we go along. Robert Woods, 7%. I mean, if you're really in a deeper league, you can look there. The whole offense is playing well. Jaden Reed, 36% owned. We already talked about how well he's been meshing with Jordan Love. I think Jaden Reed is somebody you want to look at as well. And then Odell Beckham. Odell is my number 2 waiver get this week. He's 29% owned, which is way too low. He's available in both of my leagues. I already got claims out. Now with Mark Andrews out for the season, Odell, who looks like his explosive self the last couple of weeks, I think is he could be a high-end wide receiver too the rest of the way, just because out of necessity they need him with Andrews out. And now tight end, Isaiah Likely, same deal, 4% owned, no Mark Andrews. You have a quarterback in Lamar Jackson who likes to throw to his tight ends. That's a good matchup there. I also didn't mention Tutu Atwell for the receivers, 26% owned with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua bagged up. Atwell, when he was a number 2 guy earlier in the season, when Kupp was out, played well. Kate Otten for the tight ends, 20% owned. He's been solid, a little inconsistent, but he's a somebody I would target. In defense, Miami against the Jets, New England against the Giants. Always go against those New York teams. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button. More videos on the way. Live stream tomorrow. I'll see you all then, probably sometime in the afternoon. So hit that notification button. And, like I said, I don't know the exact time, but it will be sometime in the afternoon. So stay tuned.